Welcome down at Souls. J-Ron here, and today we are looking at a bleed build from Dark Souls Remastered. And I'm going to be real with you. A bleed build, well, this bleed build is just a dex build. There's no real build, at least numbers-wise, on your stats that will make the weapons bleed more or help proc bleed faster. It's all in the weapons. So, I chose a dex build. I made a dex build focused around bleed weapons. I feel like that's a better interpretation of it, which was really freaking good. Good in all the PvE and PvP situations. As you can tell, we have the life hunt site, but we'll get into all that fun stuff momentarily. Let's take a look at our numbers to show you where we ended up. Yes, I named her Zendaya. She had that kind of had that charm, fun charm about her. Anyway, 40 vitality, 11 attunement, 36 endurance, 16 strength, 40 dex, 10 resistance, 12 intelligence, 11 faith. As you can tell, good health, good endurance, strength for weapon, strength for prerequisites, 40 to focus on dexterity damage, and resistance, intelligence, and faith. All are base. Like I said, it's a dex build. The weapons do the bleed damage. There's nothing that your personal stats can do about the bleed damage. It's all based on the weapon. But let's go dive into what we have here. First, as you see, we have the Life Hunt Scythe for our main. I chose to go for the Reinforced Club because the Morning Star that you get in the beginning I think is a little lame. And I am a big fan of the Reinforced Club. I ended up using it for the Catacombs and in the Tomb of the Giants. And it also still carried on its bleed damage, as you can tell. It also had holy damage, so that's kind of a neat little thing here. But other weapons of note before we carry on. So I wanted to use Priscilla's dagger. Didn't end up happening, but I think they would fit really, really well on this. Gold Tracer, another dagger that would fit really well on this. It has bleed on it. I think the better option though would be Priscilla's dagger. Has a higher rate of bleed. I think you get 50% bleed on that too, along with the Life Hunt Scythe. On standard enemies, there's a different scaling for bosses. You do less bleed damage on bosses. We had the Iato, which I thought the Iato was super duper fun. I mean, it's kind of similar moveset to the Uchi, but then you have that R2, which is essentially the weapon art Unsheath in Elden Ring and Dark Souls 3. I think it goes by a different name in Dark Souls 3. But that's a pretty good R2 to have, and it actually covers distance, so this made this a good distance closing weapon. And katanas are fun. They can be really fun. Obviously, the Reinforced Club, and to finish off, the Life Hunt Scythe, which was the star of the show. It did a lot of good damage. Ended up, if we went higher on dex, I bet we could have gotten to 500 easy. But on top of the 491 damage, and the 50% bleed damage it would do when it built up, it had the 500 bleed build up, which was also really freaking amazing. Purely an amazing dex weapon. Comes off the Great Scythe. So, or I could come out with a couple other different weapons. I chose the Great Scythe. The Great Scythe is great. Really for that running attack. Hold on. Here. That running attack is just a good gap closer as well as the R2 of the Iato. But this just did more damage. It's kind of slow though. That's the only downside about it, but it does a buttload of damage. So this was just well worth it. For our left-handed weapons, Pyromancy Flame, just so we can use the Power Within, and we didn't even need to upgrade it because it's just the body buff. And we used it sometimes, not all the time. And it was kind of a dangerous thing to use with the Life Hunt Scythe because you gain bleed buildup from using the Life Hunt Scythe on yourself. And we'll explain our rings and all that jazz as well. And we shifted between the Cestus, Dark Hand, and the Dragon Crest Shield. The Grass Crest Shield would have probably been more valuable, but I just am stupid and forgot that I had that after I put it in my storage box. Mostly stupid. I should have had that on the whole time. But I also do like the Cestus. It's a fun addition to anyone. For our gear, I went for the basic lady. She's got her yoga pants. She's got her lovely little pseudo-cropped sweatshirt. And she's got her bracelets. And also, she's got her fancy royal home we got from Uncle Vamos. Unfortunately, he is no longer alive, because that's how you get it. You gotta kill Vamos. I do like the royal home. I thought it was a good look on this. It was really good, actually. Once you get it up all the way, it actually has decent like bonuses and stuff and resistances and things like that. I'll let your consumables be what they are. All right, so especially with the Life Hunt Scythe, the Blood Bite ring was freaking huge. So, yeah, I'm not going to attack homeboy over next to me. Yeah, but let's just say you gain a lot of bleed buildup if you don't have this on. And literally, it feels like... Oh, wait. It almost feels like it cuts down, it turns the amount of bleed buildup you get, it just drastically reduces it, so it makes it a viable weapon to use in elongated boss fights. Something like Manus, like the 4 Kings, I didn't get a bleed proc until the last king. I also, between each king, I had a moment, because we did kind of run through kings pretty quickly. And for the most part, I only put on Havel's ring towards the end. But I ran with the wolf ring because with the equipment we had, we didn't have a lot of poise. I mean, we're wearing yoga pants and a sweatshirt. Our best piece of armor was Havel's braces, and I just kind of used that like, oh, I got my bracelets and I got my fancy helmet. But we didn't have a lot of poise, so the wolf ring was pretty clutch. A hornet ring would have been really good on this. And Ring of Favor and Protection, as always, is a good one. And Lingering Dragon Crest Ring for extended buffs from Power Within. And you could also put Intelligence or Faith onto this. I think Intelligence might be a little more viable just because Crystal Magic Weapon, or even Great Magic Weapon, comes a lot sooner than getting Sunlight Blade and Faith. And the requirements for those things are less than for Sunlight Blade. And you get more casts out of them too. But Sunlight Blade is fantastic if you wanted to go down that road. Gain the bleed on top of the buff. Or even like Moonlight Blade. Gain Moonlight Blade on top of that. With the bleed damage that comes, you would like rock house. But I digress. We just chose a Power Within. Keep it simple. Keep it easy. And yeah, that's about that. Like it was a super quick playthrough. No real gripes on that. Fun. Powerful too. Once we got the Life Hunt Scythe going too, yikes. It kind of just started to like just go into cruise control. So that should be that, guys. I hope you enjoy the rest of the footage that I provide, and I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you later. Peace out.